Let me take you a few months back, when something in my life changed. I reached a big goal I had for a long time. But now, somehow the stuff I took pride in doing before started to feel pointless. And I thought to myself, maybe I was just getting lazy. Maybe I just need to set new goals, or need more clarity. However, when I failed again to answer the question where I even want my life to go, something got clear. I felt lost. If that sounds familiar, keep watching, because I actually found two things that made me feel better. However, they weren't what I expected, and to find out those things, it took me several months. Because, paradoxically, trying to fix this feeling of feeling lost was ultimately the thing that made it worse. If you're similar to me, maybe after noticing that you're feeling kind of lost, don't know where you want to go, you also started with setting a new goal. Maybe it's a new skill, maybe it's a new business idea, or maybe you just think to yourself, you need more clarity. Then you start to watch more self-improvement videos, or start to journal about your future. But somehow everything you try and every answer you get to the question where you want to go somehow feels forced. And you start thinking to yourself that you're maybe just getting lazy. Maybe you just lost your ambition. However, I don't think that's the case. I think the real reason why everything started to feel pointless is something completely else. And I get it. I did the same stuff. I also just tried to fix this feeling. Because for people like us, normally if there's a problem, we'll just take action and it will get better. Because that's how we solved any other problem before. But if that really was the way to go, why does nothing seem to work? Analyzing the problem, setting a new goal, even journaling about it, didn't help for one reason. This is a different kind of problem than you've solved before. And in order to fix it, you first have to understand two things. First, where this feeling of feeling lost or directionless is even coming from. And second, how you're unconsciously making it worse than it has to be. Because this is actually the thing you could fix. But let's start with number one. Now this can sound a bit complicated, but stick with me. The reason you feel so directionless and kind of lost is that your values are changing. Stuff that felt important to you before now feels less important to you or even pointless. And this is completely normal. In different stages of our life, we of course also value different things. However, this still doesn't really explain why you feel lost. Because the reason you feel so lost isn't really that your values already have changed. It's that you're still in the process of your values changing. But let me give you an example. Think about an ambitious guy. Let's call him Peter. And he really values achievement, achieving big external goals. But somehow in the last couple months, achieving those goals somehow started to feel pointless for him. But until now, there's also no new value to replace the old one. So he's in this strange middle ground. And what he doesn't know is, if you would just wait, he would find a new value, a new thing he values more. Maybe now it's something like family. And of course, if you're in this middle ground between those changing values, where you don't know what awaits you, of course you feel lost. Of course you feel like there's no direction. And this process will be uncomfortable. And especially for people like us who like to be in control and like to fix problems by taking action, this can be especially uncomfortable. Because just waiting it out and trusting that it will be okay can feel like losing control or even giving up. And that constantly trying to fix this and constantly trying to stay in control won't really help you here. This is the part where you just have to trust the process. However, what I realized later was that there was actually a thing that made this process more uncomfortable for me than it had to be. And if you're similar to me, it's likely that you do the same thing. Because what feels so bad about feeling lost or directionless is often not even the feeling itself. Often it's the shame or the judgment you put upon yourself because you feel that way. It's not the original emotion, but the emotion you feel about your original emotion, if that makes sense. So in your case, your original emotion is feeling lost or directionless. And this in itself already feels uncomfortable. But the thing that makes you feel even worse isn't the original emotion itself, it's the emotion you feel about your emotion. It's that you maybe feel guilty about feeling lost, guilty about feeling directionless. So if you want to take action and fix something, let it be this. Start with noticing and letting go those second order emotions you feel about your original emotion. But you will find your new values like you lost your old ones, without you trying.